Obsidian Guide. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial, we're going to be going over how you can start using Obsidian, how you can install it, set it up, and I'll be guiding you through setting up your vault and how you can set it up to make the most use of it. So let's go ahead and get started right away. First of all, you want to go over to obsidian.md. There, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see all details on Obsidian and how you can use this, what it's going to look like. You have a graph view in there, you have different plugins, and you have canvases, and you can also synchronize it. So at the very top, you're going to have the Get Obsidian for Windows button. If you need it for Windows, then click here. If you need it for any other platform, it's available for those as well. So scroll down and find the one for you. You have iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever one you need, get that one. And then that's going to download it. Then you want to open up the download and you want to start installing. Click next. Follow the steps and then you will have it installed. Now, in a case where you want to also carry out web clipping, or if that's something that you're going to be needing, then you need to get the web clipper installed separately, and you have that available for these different browsers. So find a one for you, and then you can also get the web clipper, but you will have to install that separately. It does not come with the Obsidian. So click on, I'm going to go ahead and download it for Windows and decide the location, and then that will be installed. Once that's installed, you will be asked at the very last step to set up your vault or name your very first vault and decide the location for it. So Obsidian is going to be stored locally in your system, and you don't need to depend on the internet for that. Your files are going to stay private in your system. You don't need to upload it anywhere. And it's going to be super fast because it's stored locally and you don't have to depend on the internet either. So these are just a few points for why Obsidian is really amazing, and a lot of people are considering Obsidian for note taking and they absolutely love it. So you want to decide on where you want to store it, your vault, and then you can get started. So I'm going to go to a vault that I have already, and this is a vault that I have. So this is one of my vaults. Now, what you're going to see as someone starting off is if I go here and I click on Manage Vaults, there we go. So this is the area that you're going to see basically, and it's going to say create new vault, and you're going to click on create. Now you're not going to see this area because you don't have all of these vaults. I do, but you're going to see this part. So you want to click on create and decide on a name for your vault. So I'm going to name this one, and this is the name I've chosen. Make sure that you name it accordingly so it's easy to remember which vault has what contents in it. It could be, you could name it after your project, or maybe after, if you're working on a book, you could name it that. Whatever, just make sure it's distinct and then decide on the location. So like I said about the location before, this is that. Here I have my documents folder, and inside my documents folder, these are all the folders that I was talking about. So these are all my different vaults, and each folder is dedicated to one vault. And if I open up that folder, inside it I have my notes in simple markdown, so I can access my notes from my system. Inside my system, I just need to go to the documents folder because that's the one I've selected. You can select whichever folder you want, and then in there I have all my vaults and I can access this. So let's say, for example, hypothetically, if Obsidian vanishes someday and it's no longer there, I still have all of my vaults, I still have all of my folders, and every note is still there. So if I open up one of the folders, all my notes are still inside there in simple markdown, and I can just take those and I can put them, synchronize them, or paste them into a different platform. So these notes are always going to stay safe as long as I have my system and my system is safe. So these notes will always be available, and that is what's so amazing about Obsidian. So for that, you need to decide the location for your vault. So my vault, this one, is going to be in my documents folder. So you could set it up accordingly. And that's the folder I've selected, and it says the location here. Click on create, and then I'm going to get my very new vault. So this is what the vault looks like, my absolutely new vault. I have my note in here. I have the graph view here. Over to the left, I have the side panel where a list of all the notes and folders is going to go. These are the buttons. Right now we are on the files. We also have the search area where we can search for anything we need to. And we also have the bookmarks area where we can bookmark anything. So right now we're on files. Here are the different buttons. We'll be going over those. You have settings down here, so you can get into the settings. You can go to the core plugins and the community plugins and the appearance as well. And editor, you can set up hotkeys. So all the setting is here. Let's close that. And then if you go to this here, where my vault name is displayed, you can take a look at all of your different vaults. So this is where all the vaults are going to be. You could open up a different vault, any other vault that you need to, or if you want to create a new vault. So let's say you have an existing vault and you want another one. So if you want to create a new one, you want to click on Manage Vaults here. And then this opens up, and then you can proceed towards creating your vault. Now, another thing I would like to mention here is the open folder as a vault. So if you already have a folder in simple markdown files, like the ones I just showed you, those were created through Obsidian. So when I created a vault in Obsidian, that folder got saved in my documents folder. But here you could open a folder that already exists in Obsidian. So vice versa, or exactly the other way around. If I have already a folder saved in Markdown, I could open it up here in Obsidian. So I just need to click on open, select that folder, and it will open up as an independent vault inside Obsidian. So that's really neat as well. You could also open a vault from Obsidian Sync. So for example, if you have Obsidian on another system, you can access the folders from there. So if there's an existing vault, I can access that. You just need to sign in. But for Obsidian Sync, you do need to have a paid version. So Obsidian is free, but the Obsidian Sync option is what you're going to have to pay for. After that, you have languages here as well. So you could select any language and it's going to work with that. Of course, we're going to go with English, and I don't want to change that even accidentally, but a large variety of languages is available, as you have seen. So many languages that you can go with. So Obsidian is really useful that way. So let's exit this and again go back to our vault, our very new vault that we've just created. Simple things. I'm just going to guide you very straightforwardly about how you can start creating here. This is your note. This is your graph view. These are split across from here, and you can go to the graph view, click on the three dots. You can split that across or down. That's how you can split it up. Here as well for the note, click on the three dots. You could split this right and split this down as well. So splitting, you can access or view multiple tabs at the same time. You can even open up multiple tabs up here at the same time. So here I can open up another note, and it doesn't even have to be a note. This is a note. In this tab, if I click here, I could open up the graph view. So one tab has the note, the other has the graph view. And here I have the graph view split across. So what's convenient about this view is that you can see the note, and then you can see how those notes get added to the graph and how the graph is changing. You could even exit this. So if you remove this from here, you get just one section. So you could do that as well. If you want to bring it back, or if you accidentally get rid of it, split right, and then in this, select this tab and open the graph view in here. So we're back to the original setup. From here, you can change the view. This is now only the read view, and you can't edit this. And if you want the editor view, then here you can keep editing. So this is also convenient. You have further settings for your graph. So for example, here in graph view, we went to the three dots. You can bookmark this, and you can even copy a screenshot. Then you have settings here. You can add more filters to your graph view. And here, once you start building, you can start adding in tags to your notes. So for example, if you go down here, edit view, if you go down here and add in the hashtag, you can start adding in a tag. So any tag you want to add in, let's just call it tag. So that is what the tag looks like. You could add in as many as you need, whatever tags you want to. Let's say notes is a tag. So you have these different tags. And right now I have tags turned off. So in the graph view, I cannot see tags. If I turn it on, I'll be able to see the tags too. Then you have attachments. So if I bring an image, drag and drop it in here, the image will be here inside the note, and then that would be an attachment. I could also bring in a PDF or any other file and bring it in here in the note, and then I could turn on attachments and I'll be able to see them just like the tags. So existing files only, so files that exist, and then orphans. So this one here, if you have a note without any connection, which does not have any link, then you could turn settings on to be able to view that or not. So you could set that up. You have grouping, and then you have more display options where you could increase the fade threshold. So this could start fading sooner or later, depending on how you set that up. The node size can be set up, and then the line thickness can be changed. And then you have forces. So wait, let's collapse this. And then for forces, you have the center force, which you can increase and decrease. You have the repel force, increase and decrease that, link force, and link distance. So you could increase the distance for the link too, or increase that or decrease that. These are the view or graph settings, and how you get to view your graph. You can change up the settings for that. So this is the graph view here. Notes are going to get added. These are the notes here. Whichever tab you select, the note is going to open up there. Whichever tab you select, the graph is going to open up there. So right now I have this tab selected. I'm going to remove that in here. So I want to be in this tab, and here I want to open up a new note. So click new note, and that is the title. Whatever you title it is going to be displayed here. So let's name this something like journal, and then here I can start journaling. I can start taking my notes in whichever style I like. So press enter, keep taking notes. Now you have a lot of options, text options too. For example, you could add in bullet points here. So if you go to format, you have bold, italics, and you can even enter in code. So this is the code block, and you can add in code as well. Then you can also add in a bullet list. You could also add in a numbered list or a task list, and you're going to get a small box here, which you can check off, and then it gets striked through. So really interesting. Right click again, you could insert a footnote. You could insert a table. So if I click here, I can add in a table. If you again right click and go to insert, you could add in a horizontal rule. So that's really cool too. You could also insert code block, a math block, and then you could add in math here. So a lot of options. You could customize this area as much as you need to according to your requirement, whatever you are working on. So you would be able to realize by now that this is not a place only for writers, or not a place only for people who like to make to-do lists or checklists. This could be for mathematicians or for school or college, and anybody can take any kind of notes here. You could even code here. You could save your codes. You could make notes and save different codes in here, work on them, test them out. So this is a place for everyone. Everyone can come in here and set up a system that suits them. Now, to set up a system, what you can do is when you click here, you can add in a note. And then we just added a journal note, and then you can start taking your notes. You can add in a folder, and then this folder you could name maybe notes. And I do recommend to number your folders, so that way whichever one you want on top will stay on top. Whatever order you want, the folders can be in that order. Now this journal note, I could take it and I could put it in this folder. So I have a folder with some notes in there, and you could categorize your notes that way. You don't have to use folders. A lot of people like to use folders. Don't use more than 4 to 5. And if you're someone who doesn't want to use folders and you don't want to think about putting your notes anywhere and categorizing them, then you can just add notes and add tags. So you could categorize your notes through these tags, and then go to the search area, search for whatever tags. So I'm going to search for my tags, put in the hash, and then all the tags are going to be there. I want to see all notes with the tag notes, and that way I'll be able to see those. And that is a good way to categorize your notes instead of using folders. So you could go entirely with tags, you could go entirely with folders, or you could do a hybrid and use some folders and some tags, and that is also really helpful. So that is how you can take notes and organize them. You have the quick switcher to quickly switch between notes. You have the graph view that I showed you. You can also create canvas. So this is a canvas. Here you can add in a card. decide on a color for that. You could add in a note, so an existing note I could bring in here, and I could add in an image or media, and then you could make links between those notes like that. So this is the canvas you can bring in, and then this is the daily note. So the daily note is really interesting. Come in here, click on daily note, and today's date will be displayed up here, and you can take your notes. What's another really useful thing is templates. So you could click here and you could insert a template, but you would have to set that up. So you're going to have to create a new note and create your template, and then configure the template as well. And I do have that in other videos, so you can check that out, how you can set up templates. So these are the ones that you'll be using most. Then over here to the right, you have the side panel here where you can check on the backlinks. So you have backlinks for your note, you have outgoing links, you have tags that are used. So currently we have 2 tags, notes and tag, and we have 1 of each. And then you have properties which you can access, and you have an outline. So if you go to, for example, my note here, or actually this note here, and you access the outline, then whatever headings you have will be displayed here, and you can see the outline for that particular note. So this is also really helpful and useful. This is where you set up the templates. You can check other videos for that. So if you want to add in any plugins, go down here to settings and go to community plugins. You just have to turn on community plugins. So you go to community plugins, you want to turn on community plugins or exit the restricted mode, and then you want to go to browse. From there, you will see all the different plugins available and you can access them. You can research on which ones are best for you or the work that you do, and then install them. It's very simple to install. Let's click on the calendar one, click install. And then once it's installed through the internet, so you need the internet for that, click on enable, and then it will be enabled. The calendar, different plugins appear in different places. The Kanban appears here, the tasks appear here, and you need to use a shortcut to turn that on. And then calendar appears here. So open up the side panel, and if we scroll through, this is the calendar now, and it's appearing, and that is the calendar plugin. So this is how you can install a plugin and use it, but it's always recommended to try out this place first, see if you are missing something and you really need that plugin, only then go for the plugin. So this was it. That is all for our basic guide on using Obsidian and getting started with Obsidian. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.